But like, do we want to do a show? I guess I'm probably supposed to. Did I bring my ukulele in here? I learned a couple chords on it. No, I don't know where that thing is. All right. Here's the show. It's calling it down, and Jimmy is tired because he was doing manual labor all afternoon, and now it's the end of the day, and he's got to come and do this, but I'm sure that Ari will be able to handle and fill in for all of his incompetence. Let's start the show.
Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop.
That was a pretty good one. That one's pretty good. Oh, we had a caller try to call in and already hung up, and now they're back, and then we're going to start screening. Hey, everybody, welcome to Call It Now. I'm Jimmy Snow, joined once again by Mermaid Ari. Ari, how are you?
I'm doing much better. I will say that working a desk job and having to sit in a chair all day or even stand up occasionally, it's not working well for after the surgery. I come home and I just lay down for like 30 minutes. Yeah.
But are you being seated is bad or good? You're saying which ones?
Extended period of seating or even just standing up, being vertical right now is just not fun.
Not the best.
Yeah.
Do you need any like special shaped inflatable cushions?
Oh, I have a very special shaped cushion under me right now.
Okay. So a little saving grace.
Yeah. That's the idea. I have one at work too. So, because unfortunately I do have a capitalistic job. Ugh.
Yeah. Though for the state, in a way, as the worker, your job is owned by the people. So it's a little socialist. Not really, but kind of. I mean, it's not That's really true. Though. But kind of. But not really. Anyway, welcome everybody to Calling It Now. We're just a couple of leftist cucks wanting to hear from our sweet daddy MAGAs the right way to believe, the right thing that we should think about, what we should believe, and we'll do that for some amount of time. I may need to step away in a minute from realizing my body probably wants some. So I might need to do some therapeutic things and then return. I was thinking about this the other day. I've never done a drive toward 1 million subscribers. Right now we're at like 350,000.
Yeah.
And so I'm like trying to decide what kind of thing would like incentivize a drive. And none of you guys have ever seen me high. I haven't even been high in a long time. So maybe that's the like 1 million subscriber bribe of like, if we had 1 million subscribers, we gold button. We already do numbers better than a lot of 1 million subscriber number channels do.
Yeah.
But people just don't hit the subscribe button like they used to. I think it's one, because it feels like one of the few powers anybody has left in society anymore. So you're like, well, but it really, like for you, it'll change very much nothing. Like your algorithm's going to do whatever it's going to do regardless, which also means why are you incentivized to like actually give a shit? And I understand that, but we appreciate it. Anyway, if you're watching right now, the first thing that we do try to do is go ahead and get some calls. So we always encourage all of you to go to the live chat and interact if you'd like to. We'll put a poll in there here in a minute. You can interact, and that can help with the algorithm. Click like if you have friends that you'd like to call in to discuss political issues, whatever, with us. You can do that. The phone number is on the screen. It's easy to remember. Fun to dial. 336-543-2101. And then I don't know. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to be like pretty low key, but luckily I've got one of my badasses with me here today. So we'll see how that goes. Hey, what happened with that Canadian caller? Were they indeed a troll, as I suspected?
They weren't a troll, but their audio was so echoey. I couldn't understand them. I told them to call back a different way.
So it's more we don't even know yet if they're a troll, but that wasn't the reason we dropped them?
No.
Yeah. Or do you feel like they were not a troll?
I don't think so, but my intuition is only right like 50% of the time when it comes to trolls.
All right, well, we'll get started here, people. But remember that phone number. Remember the ways you can do, the things you can do. Click like, participate in the live chat to help us get this stream in front of more people, which increases the odds that we will get some new callers and new calls. We'll go ahead and start off with Jeff in New York. Jeff in New York, you are on the line, or you've called in before about universal health care. I'm really glad we have Ari on for this. I know Ari knows the numbers and the things. Jeff's pronouns are he, him, calling from New York. And Jeff, how old are you?
27.
Okay. And in the last two elections, who'd you vote for?
I voted for Trump in both.
Trump times 2. All right. So what did you what point did you call in to make?
So before we get into the universal healthcare thing, I was wondering if I could ask you a question.
I don't know. Depends on the question. I mean, technically you can.
Are you secretly MAGA?
Am I secretly MAGA?
Yeah.
So Jeff, did you just call in to be a silly boy today?
No, like for real though, like because I know that you used to be like you had like an upbringing in like Christian, not Catholic, Christian and like conservative. So I was like,
Wait. So you think that because I was raised and my family would be MAGA now, that I would create a network that helps people deconvert from religion, deconstruct from religion, fights the patriarchy, it literally provides trans education. I would come out as queer myself and promote leftism, take down people's glorifying of capitalism in America, like day in and day out. But that like secretly I checkmarked Donald Trump on the ballot.
I mean, crazier things have happened. You never know.
I'm curious what one crazier thing that ever happened than that was.
What's that?
Yeah, could you just name a single crazier thing than that? I mean, stay within the category. Like, can you name a person who showed one set of values and then turned out like to be totally the opposite?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of crazy to go from conservative to socialist.
Is it?
I think so.
What is the origin story of most socialists?
Is it though?
Is it crazy for a person to go from theist to atheist?
Not necessarily.
No. So the whole idea is you might be raised within an institution that you then become disillusioned with when you find out information that is contrary to the ways that you brought up, and when exposed with that information, depending on what your values are. If your values are, no, I'm on a team and I just stick to my team no matter what, which Jeff, it sounds like maybe is your value if this is so surprising to you, then yeah, it would be weird. But if your values are, I value the truth and will follow them wherever the best information takes me, then that's what happened with me. I value the truth, and I went where the truth took me. And unfortunate for so many conservative capitalists, it turns out reality, facts, truth aren't very compatible with theistic conservatism.
So,
do you have any other evidence that I would be not? Do you have any other evidence or reason to suspect that I am secretly MAGA, other than I was raised in a family that would probably be MAGA now? Or is that the whole case?
I mean, that was pretty much it. That's what made me like curious.
Crazy. All right.
Both my parents are MAGA, but I am vehemently on the opposite end of that. I actually went back on like my Facebook and it gave me like a, your memory from however long ago. And apparently in 2015, when he first announced that he was going to run for office, I had put on there, can we just not elect him for president? That'd be great.
Yeah. It's not as though I went overnight from one to the other. Also, Jeff, what would be my motivation? Do you know how rich I would be if I pretended to have a big conservative, like, revelation? I could go get me a Ben Shapiro contract tomorrow. If I was like, hey, all of these things that are getting lots of views that I'm in charge of, if I just shut them down, you guys want to just pay me millions of dollars to come do it for you guys? Like, I don't know. And Jeff, it's just a weird ass question. You're MAGA, right?
I don't consider myself MAGA.
Well, you voted for Trump twice.
Right.
Yeah. Wait, but you don't. But you used to be, but you're not now.
Yeah, I consider myself just like a moderate Republican.
Okay, so could you consider that if you were MAGA, which was more extreme right, and some sort of information or something compelled you to move closer to the middle, that there's other individuals who might have been exposed to information, maybe it's more information, maybe it's different information, that caused them to move even faster, not faster, but further. I mean, you're 27. At your age, I was probably still deciding between being a libertarian and a liberal. The realization came around the nomination of Joe Biden that fucking Democrats are hopeless. And that's when I radicalized to full socialism because I was tired of putting Band-Aids on gushing wounds. Oh, I don't care. I'm sorry, hang on. I'm just going to do something real quick. Hey, MAGA, we need better MAGA callers. I'm dropping Andrew because I don't care. We aren't so desperate for calls that I want to talk to Andrew. I'd rather end a show early. The fact that Andrew has done this many calls and shown no significant growth, except for like lying about it at times to try and be like, no. I see what you said on that one thing, and then going straight back to it when he starts going into his points. Like, I don't care. He's
We're not horrible.
Doing Andrew's
I've
calls.
only talked to him once, and he's horrible.
Yeah, that's enough. Maybe if we had another new host who's never had to talk to, but at this point, these people have a syndrome where they're just like, I need to be the co-host. I look at the thousands of people who gather to listen. Anyway, all right. So I guess that was a long way of saying, no, I'm not a secret. That's a crazy question to ask. I'm not a secret MAGA. And I don't know, man. That's just a weird question.
Could I just, so I have the chat open in another tab. I just want to say, like, this is part of the problem. This is what the left does. You guys are all over here saying, oh, like, anything that's you guys don't agree with is fascism. Fascism. How are we supposed to, like, have a serious conversation if that's what happens?
Just because Trump isn't good at being a fascist doesn't make him less fascistic.
Yeah, Jeff, what if it's not that everything we disagree with is fascism, but that we are accurately calling certain things fascism? And you go, this is what the left does. Well, Jeff, if we're going to go with that from the outside, just going with like a total summarizing of everybody totally in a fucking group, Jeff, this is what Trump voters do. They spend their vote and their time protecting pedophiles. Are we going to be dumb about this shit, or are we going to do the shit that we're going to do here today? Andrew's calling back. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I snoozed him. Why are you worried about the chat saying, also don't look at chat. I don't even take chat seriously. I bet I respect the opinions of 10% of them, and I'm not going to tell them which 10% so the other 90 stick around. If you're watching right now, you're one of the 10%. Okay. So like, why you're sitting there going like, you don't even know if these are real people. Have you heard of dead internet theory? This could literally be like a robot just reacting to the thing, or a person who is essentially a human bot doing bot shit for them. Like, don't look at the live chat. It's just going to make you feel worse. If you make you feel any better, a lot of the commenters don't like me either. Those just usually come after.
I mean, yeah, it's true that you don't know, like, if they're real people or not.
Yeah.
Well, because so I've been, like, on a whole journey of, like, how should I describe myself politically? And, So, like, today I called in and I said that I'm moderate Republican, and people were like, does he mean moderate fascist? And I just don't even understand what? Like, that's stupid.
Or Jeff, you don't even realize, since, I mean, again, this is sort of revelatory to your confusion about how I might not be MAGA because that was the team I was born onto. Like, it does seem like, Jeff, it doesn't seem like you think people usually end up on the team that's factually correct, but on the team they were born into. So it could be the case, Jeff, that you don't even realize, while you may not like fascism, you might not look at Hitler and go like, I want to be all up in that guy's shit. You may still be contributing to a system that is essentially sending us there, right? You're not supporting 1943. Now we know all the things that happened, Hitler, but are you supporting 1935 Hitler? Are you supporting the things that came before? And so, Jeff, I'm sorry if you still call yourself a moderate Republican. I do probably myself think that you're probably supporting fascism and don't even realize it. At best, that's like my most charitable. You don't even realize that the fascists are delighted to have you.
I mean, I just like. What would I be supporting that's fascist, though?
Well, you voted for Trump twice, and Donald Trump has, I mean, you can go read Project 2025 and now Project 2029, see how much of that stuff has been going into effect. There's literally right now the SAVE Act is the precursor to federalizing the elections and then rejecting the people that they don't want to vote, to where the federal government can say, no. Whoever the president is essentially will decide who won which states. I mean, that's just for starters. Do you support what ICE has been doing?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, you voted for it, and Donald Trump and his opposition all told you this is what he was going to do. So you voted for it. So again, you might not sympathize with the fascists, but boy, are the fascists glad to have you.
Well, the thing that I will say is, like, when I voted for Trump, the most recent time, it was more so because I wanted what we had back in 2017. I was kind of tired of being in my 20s, not being able to live like a normal adult and afford things and do what I want. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I wanted to
When
go
did
back
Donald
to where
Trump become
things were
president in
booming and looking
2017?
great. What?
What was the date that Donald Trump became president in 2017?
January. I'm not sure the exact date.
20th. So I'm curious, Jeff. You're saying you wanted what we had in 2017. What was the point in 2017 where Donald Trump had made America great? That his policies had taken hold and now it wasn't? Because Donald Trump basically rode the successful recovery and economic status that was handed to him by Obama. Things weren't relative to what was going on back then. Things weren't terrible in 2016 and then made great in 2017. Economically, things look exceptionally similar. In fact, that's the year where Donald Trump still had obstructionists in his cabinet, like Reince Priebus, people who were more moderates, to stop him from being fucking crazy. And we got to see the crazy come out more and more as time went on, as he did things like not have a distribution plan for vaccines and the like when he flubbed COVID. So when you say 2017, I think, okay, so you voted for Trump because you wanted Obama's economy back? Weird.
Well, I mean, there's a lot more to it than just that. Like, you know, Trump did the TCJA, which was very successful.
Ari, was
like, there were things that Trump did that
was the TCJA very successful?
No, even right-leaning organizations such as Cato or the Tax Foundation say that it predominantly benefited the upper 1%, you can just say 10%. On average, they received a tax benefit of $62,000, whereas anyone that was middle working class only received an average tax benefit of, if they were lucky, $600. it was not wildly successful, unfortunately.
How long does it usually take, Jeff, if you give rich people a tax cut that's disproportionate, that everybody gets a tax cut, but rich people get the most, and you explode the deficit to do it? How long does it usually take for that to turn into inflation?
I am not sure.
So let me ask you a question. We saw massive inflation after COVID. Do you know whether or not any of that was caused by the TCJA?
I wouldn't say so. I would say
Why
that
not?
it was
You don't even
primarily
know.
just caused by the pandemic.
You just said you don't know, though, how long it takes for rich people tax cuts to turn into inflation. And generally, it's a few years. Sometimes it's 1 to 2. Sometimes it's a little bit more. But the TCJA was timed as such so that it would be a next term problem. And then Donald Trump, as we see him do with shit right now, is I'll create the problem and then threaten companies to push down the results of that problem until after I get out. So the next administration has to show it. So what you saw was the supply chain issues and everything else explode inflation. You saw Donald Trump explode the deficit. So we literally also just have less money to face the pandemic with. He had no economist backing up that his play was smart or good. And anytime you give a tax cut that is disproportionate to the rich, and you're going to have to find that money elsewhere to pay for things, it basically means you're then going to tax the people who are poorer and middle class, which we've now also seen in the form of the tariffs, which in the next year, because we haven't seen massive amounts of taxes increase yet from the supply chain because of the way people prepared for it. We haven't seen massive increases yet in the cost yet. However, that is meant to come to an end in the next year or two, though undoubtedly, if Donald Trump is still the president, he will try to threaten those companies to prevent them basically to eat the cost until he gets out, because he knows it's not sustainable. You can't just threaten them forever. Eventually their company would go out of business, but he may try to see if he can just threaten them until he leaves office. It's funny, Jeff, because you're sitting here like with your understanding of things, and you're actually showing why I went from conservatism all the way to socialism. Because it turns out if you just start asking more questions like, hey, Ari, did the TCJA actually work out? And you ask like, what is the impact of tax cuts on inflation and all this other shit? You start to get more answers and a more deeper understanding and go like, oh, shit, have I been lied to my whole life? For example, you originally called in about universal health care and that you're against universal health care because it's anti-capitalist, which means that you fundamentally believe that capitalism is more important than the well-being of humans. I think you should be a humanist over a capitalist. And this would be why we have found ourselves on different sides of a political fence, an economic fence.
Well, I mean, I believe that you could be both in the sense that the reason why I believe so much in capitalism is because I believe it has the ability to produce really good and successful outputs for people.
How many people? Is it most people, or is it a select group? And that as time goes on, the more as society turns to capitalism, the more that small group grows in wealth, and the bigger the poor grow, and the bigger the group of people who have to share the rest grow. There's no doubt. If the goal is like capitalism is better because capitalism produces billionaires and socialism doesn't, okay, that is technically a valid almost syllogism. You could turn that into a valid syllogism. Is it sound, though? Is it sound to say that the goal, that the marker is production of billionaires? Because is capitalism the production of everyone's a billionaire with all the billionaire resources? Or is it Todd and his merry friend of pedophile fucks are a bunch of billionaires, and everybody else shares a small percentage of the money? They have more than the rest of us combined.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. It's just with capitalism, so
Stop reading the chat.
I feel like socialism likes to keep people down. And what I mean by that is they want people to be dependent
Who
on
is
government
they?
assistance and
Who is they?
socialists.
They want people to be on government assistance. You're literally looking at socialism through the lens of capitalism. That there should be a class system, and there are the people at the top, and that's a few people who want. They is us. Socialism, capitalism. Here's the simplicity. Capitalism serves the good of capital, the capital good.
Yep.
Capitalism does. Capitalism serves the capital good. Socialism serves the social good. So there is no they, because they is the same people. That would be like me saying they and I want them and me to be more reliant on the government. That is just Fox News bullshit of not even knowing what socialism is. Jeff, please define socialism.
Socialism is, bigger government.
No. Incorrect. In fact, socialism would in very many ways in America reduce the size of government.
More things would be government ran, though, wouldn't they?
They would be people ran. What is government?
The people that are in charge.
Do you know what is just the theoretical definition of socialism? Even if you don't think in practice it's what it is. What is it?
I'm not sure.
Ari, I'm trying to not monopolize.
Oh no, you're good. I know Jeff. I have conversations with him on the side because
Would you like to educate him on what socialism is?
Okay, I'll be honest, and I can say that I don't know the actual definition of what it would be, but basically, Jeff, and you should know this, socialism, it's just let's just give you the bare bones, right? It would be the idea of the means of productions are owned by the people.
Socialism is essentially collectivism. So it gets rid of private ownership. Doesn't mean that you don't have private access to things. And it means that you don't get to start a factory where the person at the top makes 500 times what the person at the bottom makes, and the person at the bottom has to rely on, you're sitting here going socialists want you to be reliant on the government. Cool. Call me when we no longer subsidize the wages of Walmart workers in our current capitalist country.
Literally.
Have I stunned you into silence, Jeff, or are you making the mistake of reading the chat again?
No, I'm processing what you guys are saying.
Do you have the chat open, though?
I do.
Close it.
Okay.
Thank you.
The chat says mean stuff about Jimmy all the time. Sometimes they say mean stuff about me, but not as much as my own chat.
Here, let's do this. Only answer if you're serious. I'm going to write it in the chat. Only answer truthfully. Do you like Jimmy? And I'll tell you the results in a minute. Okay. Guys, please only tell the truth. This is going to destroy my self-esteem, by the way. But do tell the truth. All right. So, Jeff, you called in, you were against universal health care. If I'm picking between a healthcare system for a country, should I pick the one that reduces infant mortality, reduces adult mortality, does a better job taking care of people with chronic illness, does a better job taking care of people with disabilities, does a better job, has a reduced number of people dying from childbirth, has health programs not just to make sure that people are treated when they're sick, but also to encourage people to be healthy. So in other words, when it comes to a healthcare system, which one is better to pick? The one with better outcomes for people or the one with worse outcomes but more rich people?
The one with better outcomes for people.
So then you said that you prefer and you are against universal health care because it's anti-capitalist. There's no question anymore. The data is in. It's not subtle. Socialized medicine, even in capitalist countries, socialized medicine has better outcomes than capitalism, than private insurance, than our current system. Cuba, the terribly impoverished country, the one that America has bent over and fucked without asking, has better healthcare outcomes despite that poverty because they have universal healthcare. Unless you put it up against just rich people in America. In America, if you are rich, you have the best healthcare in America. Jeff, are you rich?
No.
Then you don't have the best healthcare in the world.
Right.
19% of people so far don't like me. That's actually lower than I thought it would be. Wait until the comment section chimes in, though.
Yeah,
I
the
guarantee
comment
you.
section is.
Yeah, the comment section's way worse, and they think the way they feel about me is how everyone feels, and I should change to be whichever creator they prefer, usually Forrest. I should just be Forrest from now on, or just not talk and let Forrest only talk. Anyway, so now, Jeff, please defend me keeping the private healthcare system in America.
I don't know. Because of like how much it would cost the average taxpayer.
Ari, would
break
you
that
like to
down?
drop the bomb on him?
Yeah, I'm like, would you like me to break that down? Because it's
Yes,
not
please.
as much as you think.
She knows the numbers.
I am going to do the math real quick because I don't feel like doing it in my head right now.
While she does the math, I'm going to ask you a question, Jeff. Right now, my healthcare, I pay a premium out of pocket every month of $600. And then if you average it over the year, I spend somewhere between another $1,200 to $1,600 a month overall on my healthcare. So let's just say my healthcare costs, because of my chronic illness, medications, even though I have a gold plan, I'm still on average in a year spending $24,000 or $2,000 a month. Now, in theory, you could increase my taxes relative to my income. Let's say my taxes went up by $1,000 a month. Am I now saving money or losing money because we have a tax care system, a universal tax system?
You'd be saving money in that instance.
Right, because what happens to my premiums and my co-pays in a universal healthcare system?
You wouldn't have to pay for those.
Right. Now I'm going to let Ari break down the numbers with you.
Yeah. So right now, and the numbers are only updated as of 2023, but I'm going to give you these two numbers. So right now, the United States spent $4.9 trillion in 2023 as a whole on healthcare, which cost the average American taxpayer about 14.5. I think actually the last time I looked it up too with you, Jimmy, it was $5.4 trillion in 2024, which broke down to $15,500 per person. Universal healthcare in the United States is only estimated to cost on the high end $3.5 trillion total, which breaks down to $10,115 per person. That's a $4,000 savings. And by the way, this is per person, so this includes children that would not be, paying any taxes.
Hey, Jeff, do you know how GLP-1 drugs, like how much of a big difference they are making in people's lives right now, not just for weight loss, but for addiction, and they're finding out that they have a shit ton of other uses. They're almost magic. Are you familiar with this? Things like Wegovy.
No.
Have you heard of Ozempic?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard of that.
Now, in a world right now where literally in America, you could argue that like a third of our population needs access to these. If it cost them $7 to produce a month of Ozempic, and they have more than recuperated their research cost. In fact, technically, the research was done by institutions that were government funded. Then the licenses and the patents were bought by other companies for big like prices up. But they have more than recovered their Ozempic has more than recovered their investment many times over. And it cost them $7 to produce a month's worth of Ozempic. What do you think the fair price to the consumer would be for that, for a month of Ozempic?
I wouldn't know, to be honest.
Can we agree that like $50 is a great margin? You're making $43 every time you spend $7?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
Would
say
you then
50
say
is-
$100 would be getting a little bit greedy? Like, okay, we get it. It's America. $100, you're getting a little greedy now. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Great. It's $1,350. So, Jeff, you were
Wow.
saying how capitalist healthcare is better?
Man.
Yeah. And imagine if the government just owned that, and the government being us in a socialized system, if it's $7, then that's the cost. So as far as like how much your taxes are going up and shit like that, it's to be able to cover many people having $7 worth. Whereas right now, if all of the people who are currently paying for the Ozempic at those higher costs or even at a lower cost with insurance, if you just pool that money together, I don't know for sure this is true. I'm going to guess it's comically too true, as in it will be many times over. Just the amount spent right now on Ozempic would more than pay for like every person in the country, if not the planet, to have Ozempic, and they would still make a profit. Like, that's how fucking crazy these margins are. And again, these aren't like GLP-1s aren't vanity drugs. There are people who use them as vanity drugs who are dicks. But being fat, and I got to say this because I'm fat, is what's killing a lot of Americans. It's shaving years off their life, but it's also, there are other parts of it that where it's, you are increasing your levels of cortisol, you are raising your blood pressure, your quality of life is also sucking. You're wheezing to walk to the fucking mailbox. That was the situation I was in because my being overweight also led to nearly killed me levels of sleep apnea. They produce it for $7. It costs over $1,000 for a month. We're finally now, a few years in, starting to get more generic versions of it and more like deals with like certain companies that have versions of it. And that's still in the hundreds of dollars. And you and I already agreed $100 would be greedy. So, Jeff, what's good about capitalism-based healthcare? And keep in mind, we have an entire developed world with universal healthcare that we're going to be able to compare it to.
I think that, like, it's with, you know, this Ozempic example that we're using, like, it's a very flawed system. And I don't think so. I think that there needs to be more regulation in that kind of sense, where it's like, why are they allowed to charge so much more than what the product is really worth? That there needs to be someone there that's like, no, like the product is worth this, you need to sell it at this. and not.
Should we privatize
I
the
don't know.
police, Jeff? Right now, the police are a social program. Should we privatize that? So now, like, a company gets to decide who gets the police. So if you call 911, you're being murdered. Maybe they check to see if you're up on your police fees. Or is it important that the police be a universal service?
I think it should be a universal service.
So what about healthcare? Should that remain, I make more money if people are sick but don't use my service, so I'll make it more complicated. People are spending more money here than in other countries with universal healthcare after taxes, and yet I'm still going to turn down them care. I'm going to make them afraid of going because they're worried about co-pays and the cost of medications. You know, people like to complain that there's waiting lines in the UK for certain procedures. But in America, most people report they've either not gone to the doctor or they've put off a procedure until they could afford the procedure. We had a man literally call in last month, who was 65 years old, on your team, voting MAGA, defending MAGA, reveals during the call that he is blind with cataracts. Cataracts are curable. You can go from blind to not blind in under 24 hours. But because he literally said, yeah, I'm saving up for the procedure. He's been essentially blind for 3 years, remembers what seeing is like, can't see right now. And because he has to wait, despite the fact that he spent his life, he's retired now. So even on Medicare, they're not doing it in a timely fashion for him. And he's still having to save up for something. At 65 years old, spent his life working for people. And he's old, and we're not sitting there and going like, hey, man, like, obviously, if you're not blind, you have a higher ability to contribute to society. So we're going to go ahead and just make you not blind. Instead, he has to sit there and wait and hope that no other expense comes up as he's saving up to not be blind, or hope that Mr. Beast comes to his town and creates some poverty porn there. Like, those are the options. I got a little worked up. Jeff, are you reading chat again?
No.
Okay.
No, the Mr. Beast comment was apt, though. I actually moved out of the area he's from years ago.
I can't stand that shit.
I met him. He's not even great in person, guys.
The fact that he's figured out a way to become a billionaire, making like, wow, I'm going to expose you guys to stuff and no real actual significant solutions. I'm glad that people are getting relief, but I can say at the same time, think about what a deeply problematic world we have to live in when, like, we're in a third world country. You're putting on a game show of, let's find out if your debt can be wiped out, if you can have a home, if you can have cataract surgery. Let's do all of that. It's just fucking bleak as shit. And that is capitalism. While we're on the thing, I just want to say to anybody who's thinking about calling in, if you think you can defend that universal healthcare is inferior to the private system, that America has a better healthcare system, you should pick up that phone and call us and explain to us why. Tell us what we've missed. 336-543-2101.
I just, with everything that we're saying, I agree that the system is currently flawed. I just don't think the right thing is to turn completely to a different system.
So Jeff, people like to do this in reverse with socialism. They go, what socialist country has ever worked? But this one's so different because I can now actually go and say, for specifically healthcare, which country has a private healthcare system like ours that has better outcomes than the universal healthcare systems of virtually every other developed democracy, and even the non-democracies, China and Russia. Right now, today, if you are born in China, you have better healthcare outcomes than your parents would have through their life. That's the reality we are hitting, and people want to sit there and shit on other shit. So Jeff, simply point to the place or the theory or when other countries have already solved it and those systems work. You're sitting there and going, okay, yes, our system is broken, but why don't we try another version of it that we have no reason to believe will work better this time, because capitalism means somebody has to make money off of it. The incentive must be somebody gets rich off of the fact that you are sick or that a lot of people could be sick. Why would you go, I don't want to throw out this system, which doesn't work, which is bad, which has worser outcomes and incentivizes people to make money off of whether or not you get cancer, versus a system we know works? It's not subtle anymore. The data's in. Universal healthcare is better than private healthcare.
I mean, another thing that
Mm.
that always gets said is, you know, a lot of it's dependent on the specific country, and a lot of people will. I mean, primarily this gets said from people that identify themselves with the left. They will claim that America is the richest country on earth, and it's not. It's not even in the top 4.
Is it per
a lot
capita?
of people assume that we have a lot more money than we do.
Do we have more money per capita than the UK does?
Than the UK, I think so.
Do we have more money than Canada?
Yes.
When you describe whether or not we are the richest, would you say that richest means total dollar amount in America's bank, or the total size of the economy, referring to the nominal GDP?
The total size of the economy, referring to the GDP.
Then we are the richest in the world.
Yeah. Just if you look at the GDP, which, by the way, since we were still talking about healthcare, the cost of our healthcare system makes up 18% of the United States GDP, which is ridiculous.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I first told Jim, and he's like, "That's higher than I even thought it was going to be," and that's a ridiculous number.
I probably had to poop shortly after hearing that. And I literally pay money into this capitalist system to poop. This is not a joke. I 3 to 4 times a day take a dose of a medication called cholestyramine, which allows me to shit. So, and they be normal. I'm literally in a country where I pay to poop right, is what we're down to. And it is not cheap. It's weirdly cheaper on Amazon's discount program than it is if I buy from insurance. Yeah, it's weird. A 3-month program, if I bought without insurance, is $500. A 3-month, not program, but stock? A 3-month stock with Amazon discount is only $270. It's like almost double if I do it through my gold insurance plan, guys. I pay to poop. I pay my country to poop. Do you guys understand this? Jeff, should I be paying my country to poop?
No.
Welcome to socialism.
I feel stumped. I don't know what the right answer is, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't even have insurance right now. I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know.
Hope you don't ever sprain your ankle so bad that you need painkillers, or you aren't sure if it's broken, so you go to the ER and now you're financially ruined. I think the problem that you're hitting right now, Jeff, is you feel compelled to hit back and win the argument. But you're faced with that in reality, that compulsion comes from which team you are on, not what the best facts are.
I mean, I don't know.
Is your dad MAGA?
Yes.
Tell him you're thinking about becoming a socialist and that it's my fault, and get your dad to call in. I want to debate your dad.
That would actually be really fun.
That would be
I
really
wanna debate
interesting.
On a Tuesday that I'm here, please.
Yeah, I want to debate where this
Which is
deep
next week.
compulsion comes from. And I want to show you that, because this is where sons politically take on the politics of their father. And it sounds like you did, and now you've got a little more independent, so you've moved a little away, but probably you're trying to stay within the zone of politically acceptable to your dad, because at least you're not one of those woke queers kind of things. And Jeff, honestly, I'd way rather, like, in a weird way, to emasculate him, to take him down in your eyes and show you your dad won't be able to debate me better than you have here today. Because facts are not on his side. Universal healthcare, socialized healthcare is better than capitalist healthcare, period. There is no subtlety to it. This isn't even capitalism versus socialism overall. I am more than willing.
Yeah.
In fact, I've said, Gavin Newsom, as much as we don't want to vote for him, if between now and the primary, not the primary, if between now and the general election, he becomes the candidate and all he does is say, like, and by the way, I'm going all the way. It's Medicare for all. We got to stop with this shit. I'm doing Medicare for all. I will become an enthusiastic Gavin Newsom cheerleader. I'm not afraid of making this threat because it's not going to happen. But literally, I would take on so many flawed candidates who are fundamentally holding up capitalist systems if they would just support Medicare for all. It is my number one issue by far. I am a queer man, and I would endorse a candidate who wants to get rid of gay marriage but provide Medicare for all. That might not be true, but it could be. It could be. That's like rough. How important Medicare for all. The Medicare for all is so behind so many of America's problems, and not having it is so behind so many of America's problems in ways that people don't even connect. That's how much it is my number one fucking thing, period.
Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting if my dad called.
You'd love it. I'll be nice.
Probably.
I mean, as long as he doesn't act like one, I think we're okay.
I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, he would be better at this than I am. I'm not confident enough. Like, I've been so nervous this whole time.
But Jeff, confidence isn't the important thing. It'll be, will he bring better facts?
Yeah.
I don't think he will be better. Because the thing is like the reasons why I believe in socialized medicine, like I said, it's not subtle. It is actually what is obvious. So if you get your dad to call in, and I hope you do, he's going to try and make a lot of roundabouts, tie this argument up in knots, say a lot of broad generalizations that he heard from Fox News. He's going to bring up the point. I guarantee your dad's going to be like, in the UK, if you break your knee, you might have to wait 6 months to get a knee replacement. I guarantee you, your dad's going to say that shit
all the time.
Oh boy.
and then I will embarrass him. You will actually probably look better after the call than he did, because your dad's older people who are stuck in their ways that long. You can prove to them they're wrong. I did it with my dad. And my dad literally would get stuck in a corner and he'd be like, well, I don't know the answer to those questions, but what I do know is at the end times, every knee shall bow and every tongue confess that Jesus is Lord. So even with all of the proof that you've done, blah, 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 you're going to confess Jesus is Lord in the end too. And it's literally just like, okay, I could also just be a toddler, put my fingers in my mouth, ears and go, da, 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 because that's the same thing you just did, but whatever. But yeah, get your dad to call in. I'd love it. Everybody right now, if you've got a MAGA dad, get him to call me. I want to talk to all your MAGA dads.
You know, it's funny too, because like when it comes to my parents, we don't often talk about politics. So I was wondering, I was unsure if they were still MAGA, and then it was reconfirmed on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh,
Are you gay, Jeff?
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, okay.
With Bad Bunny. Are you gay, Jeff?
No.
If you came out of the closet as gay on a scale of 1 to 10, from one is I'm actually stoked about it. Number 5 is, so 1 is good. 5 is neutral. Like, I don't care either way. And 10, this is basically life ending for me. How would your mom react on that scale? 10 is the worst, 1 is the best, to finding out that you were gay.
I'd probably put it at a 6.
And how would your dad?
He would be a 10.
All right, get your dad to call me. Please get your dad to call.
Yeah.
I'm dying to talk to him. I want to give you the space to come out should you ever need to, Jeff. I'm not saying I think you're gay, but if you ever should need to, I want to help you get the space.
Thank you.
yeah, it's just about creating a safe space for people.
Yeah.
Collectivism.
I'll probably ask your dad on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, how devastated would you be to find out your son was gay? I won't say your name if you don't want him to know you've called in before, but just get your dad to call in. Everybody get your MAGA dads to call in. The phone number is right there, 336-543-2101. We want to talk to y'all, 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. Jeff, do you have any other questions or concerns for us before we let you go?
I do have one more question. I was curious about your guys' opinion on something.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you guys think that the weather can be controlled?
No.
What do you mean by that?
Like, do you think that, or not like completely controlled, but do you think that like there are people out there, like, I don't know if it's like necessarily like in the government, but like that they could do things where they know that they're influencing like certain weather patterns to happen?
This is still too broad, Jeff. So, Jeff, cloud seeding is a thing. I believe that exists. So you can increase precipitation in an area. In the long term, without intending to, at this point, it feels a little intentional. We have changed the climate, which means individual weather things that wouldn't have happened or would have happened so intensely has happened. So I do believe human activity can have an effect on the weather. But if you're asking me, do I believe that Donald Trump can say, you know what I could use right now? A thunderstorm in Burbank? No, I don't believe that.
Well, this is going to probably make me sound really crazy, but like, so
Yeah.
I think that the Democrats mess with the weather sometimes.
I'm getting MTG vibes right now.
Why would this be your final thing you want to go out on? Okay, Jeff, you're going to call back on this, but first you're going to, between now and that call, you're going to do your best research to try to find the theory of how they do it. Not just that they do it. It's a little too coincidental that when they needed a hurricane, they got themselves a hurricane. You're going to do your absolute best, okay? Do that, call back, and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. Thank you.
I want to find out how many people in the chat have MAGA dads.
I mean, I do, but he's not diehard at all. Like,
I still want to debate him.
Yeah, good luck with that.
My dad and I got into it once back when we still talked, and I was like, let's do the debate on air, on my channel. Let's do it. I'll debate you on air.
And he was like, nah.
Of course not. In reverse, I wouldn't have taken that offer either, so it's not that crazy, but with your own family and shit. Also, I'm probably glad he didn't, because I know my dad, he would have just resorted to, did you guys know when he was 14, he didn't get a patriarchal blessing? Probably because he was masturbating. Hey, did you guys know way more people voted that they like me than have voted that they like the stream? Could y'all click like? By the way, 15%. of chat said they don't like me, which I feel one of the criticisms was that they really don't like how I'll start a question, get into a tangent, and then appear to forget the question by the time I am asking it, forget what I was going at. And same, that's my biggest gripe with me too.
That I feel like that's most people. I'm curious if they would like me then, if even the same amount of people would even vote for mine.
You're very concise, but I don't know. Right now, you're much better at it than I am, especially when it comes to the number stuff. Guys, we are not going to theorize on whether or not Jeff is gay. I just wanted to know what kind of MAGA dad it was. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. My MAGA dad, I don't know how he's handled knowing that he has multiple queer children. I don't know. You think Javon debated his brother on stream? I'll take his brother too, but I really want the MAGA dads. Right now, there's a poll in chat about how many of you people have MAGA dads. Briefly, we don't really do these kinds of calls, but whatever. Rajat in Canada. Rajat, how old are you? Rajat, can you hear me? Touch your phone, Rajat. Rajat.
I guess.
Okay, well, a Canadian was calling in to tell us that voting isn't going to solve the U.S.'s problems. Of course, it's going to take much more than voting. Voting is the minimum you should do. But voting by itself ain't going to do it. That was the other call we had on the line, guys. We had some people try to call in and give up. If you guys want to call back now, right now, MAGA, if you'd like to talk to us and be the next call we take, you are more likely to get on the line if you call now. Okay, Rajat's trying to call back. Let's try. Hello, Rajat. Can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, and says here you're from Canada. How old are you?
I'm 27 years old.
So you just don't believe that we can basically vote our way out of these problems. My thing was, I don't think we can just vote our way out of this problem. It's going to take a lot more activism and stuff. However, we should not give up on the potential of engaging the democratic process. I don't believe it is violent revolution time. Are you calling to say it is violent revolution time?
Well, no, not right now. I mean, so what I would say is,
then
like,
what time
I'm
is
not
it
just
for?
So, look, I'm not just talking about like United States. I'm talking about all the liberal democracies.
Okay.
So, like, I believe that what should be done is that. So, suppose there's like a Marxist-Leninist Socialist Party called, I think, PSL, Party for Liberation, Party for Socialism and Liberation. Similarly, there's also an organization called FRSO, Freedom Road Socialist Organization. They are doing good work. Now, they should participate in the elections, but they should not think of it as for like winning. It's simply for spreading the knowledge, right? Or like
So
becoming
Rashad,
more famous.
It seems like you're mostly calling in to just make a point to the audience. Generally, we either want people to be calling in for, it's not like an open mic show, no offense, but it's not like hey, here's what I would do and what I would like to do. It needs to either be a question for us or it needs to be a point of contention for which we can debate.
Yeah, so like you believe that electoralism is fine, right? Like you said, like you are okay with voting for Gavin Newsom, right? If he ran on just universal health care.
When the next election comes, I will vote for whichever one the better of the two are. Period. Yes.
Yeah, right. So my point is like, look, that does not work, right? That has not worked so far. I mean, like, look, I get that Democrats are like better on like social issues, but like ultimately,
Boom, then you just showed
like,
that it worked because you just said you get that they're better on social issues. I've not said I'm voting for Gavin Newsom to successfully bring on socialism. If I have to vote for Gavin Newsom, it will be because my brown friends, my trans friends, my queer, what is it when they're friends and I'm queer, their outcomes will be better than the alternative. So to that end, it will be successful. To the end that the actual goal of taking that vote, what the actual goal of that vote will be, to have a Supreme Court in the future that might be workable. And if you want to still sit there and say, yeah, but that still doesn't work because it doesn't deliver, nobody here has ever claimed Gavin Newsom's going to deliver the socialist country. So if you have a contention that it's not going to work, what I need from you is, what is the thing that will work?
I would say like, okay, in the long-term revolution, yeah, revolution is the only thing that will work in the long term. So look, here's the thing. When you just said like, yeah, it's true that Gavin Newsom would be in the short term beneficial for trans people, for queer people. Like I shall grant you that, right? I shall grant you that. But in the long term, social democrats or like social liberals, which I consider like Gavin Newsom and like Joe Biden and these sorts of people. Though Joe Biden is not exactly a social democrat, he was more like centrist, I guess. But the point is, these people, electoralism, they cannot do much. They will do some short-term help, but then
how is
things will go
abstaining
back
from voting compared to, because when I look at queer people, I look at even socialists, I would say in the last 100 years, while we are still far, and right now we are going through a specific, hopefully dying throw setback, overall, we are closer to, one, the acceptance of socialism. We are post-Red Scare. It just does not make younger generations who are going to be the populations that have the power in another couple of decades. It's not as scary to them. Queer people have more rights than they did. 100 years ago, it was go to prison or be chemically castrated. So when you're saying none of this stuff has worked, actually, that's been the result of those elections. And now, arguably, in a practical way, we are closer to the possibility of socialism, and we have developed more rights for those people. And that has been the result of voting. Now, what has the abstaining from voting done for us?
So I would say that it worked, as in like, when I say it does not work, my point is like actual significant change that you cannot take away, that another party that later comes in cannot just take it away, right? Like, yes, queer rights has progressed, but you can see that the MAGA party is taking away those rights.
Hey,
So,
what was my question to you, Rajat?
yeah.
What was my question?
Your question to me, like, how does not voting help? That was your question, right?
I gave you the results of voting, and I've asked you to give me now what is the results of your abstaining.
In the short term, I would say they are not good. But look, here's the thing: if you want to vote for a socialist party, right? PSL, like, vote for them.
Primary for them, correct. When it comes to the general election, if they have no shot, there is no value in voting for someone with no shot. But absolutely, we should primary for leftists. Like, Rajat, maybe it's because you live in Canada and you can't understand just how restrictive the two-party system is. And right now, we have to, within the two-party system, get a government in place that wants no more two-party system. And so, again, if you want to call and say it's violent revolution is the only thing to get there, great. We're on YouTube, and we're a communication arm of a resistance. We're not the, hey, guys, let's go grab our muskets and get marching people. You're welcome to go find those people and see if you can organize enough of them to go get you that government.
Well, I'm not saying that like do revolution now or anything like that, right? The conditions and like Marx and Lenin would say there are particular conditions that happen. all I'm saying is that like right now, just like organize, right? Just organize, just build friendships, train or something, spread socialist information, right? Spread that knowledge. And what I would say is like, look, I'm from India originally. I'm right now in Canada. So even in India, right? Like there are multiple parties indeed, and it's different than in the United States. That's true. However, the overall system in India still feels like two-party system ultimately, because there is like a coalition of the right and the coalition of like liberals. Leftist parties don't seem to win right now, but I would say like these things are changing though. More as like more and more people know about socialism, know about like the how like Marxist-Leninist kind of socialism
Hey,
works really.
Rajat, we're kind of getting back to monologuing. Also, can you back off of your mic? You're clipping so much.
Okay, sorry. If I'm on mobile, I mean my mobile is
It's all good. It's better now. So far.
It's better?
Great. So Rajat, we don't have a real point of contention. I guess you think people at the general election should vote third party. No. The consequences of Donald Trump being into office, anybody who can't see that it wasn't worth it last time who participated and is still standing by their abstention or their third party vote, I just think is an idiot at this point. It was not worth it. And you have not gotten us any closer to like now the Democrats are going to meet our demands because they don't actually believe appealing to the left will make the difference either way. And they think they will lose too many people when they appeal to the left. And so participation, organization, all that kind of shit that you were saying, making these people come on to now these different forms of media that do embrace the possibility of leftism, because CNN used to be considered radical left, MSNBC used to be considered radical left. Meanwhile, there are people who are moderate left, people like Mehdi Hassan, who I like, have literally been removed from their positions, basically for being too leftist, basically for not being willing to serve capitalism too much. Like, I hear you. I hear the stuff you're saying, but right now we're just sort of having a monologuing conversation of like, cool, yeah, man, organize, workers of the world unite, all that shit.
Well, we are debating though, right? I mean, like, right?
You want to know why, Rajat? Like, obviously, you're Canadian right now. You're from India. Do you know why a third party doesn't work in the United States at the moment?
I think it's just the structure of liberal democracies that big coalitions just form, and there's like right and left like that. Because even in India, like coalitions are there, right? Like the right coalition and the left coalition, but technically,
actually,
it's not exactly a left.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. I don't want you to go off on a tangent here. No, it's mostly because of our FEC laws that govern our elections, and then how donations work, and then how parties work. So, for example, unless a third party can get 3% of the total vote in an election, they have no access to any federal funding to get started and get their feet off the ground, right? They have to do it from grassroots. And I'm sorry, grassroots people, they don't typically have the money to can't do a full presidential campaign across the entire United States, right? That's why not every single third party candidate was on the ballot in every single state in the United States. They didn't have the money. They also, if they're not polling at 5%, they can't participate in presidential debates. So nobody knows who they are. So until these rules and regulations get changed within the United States of America, I'm sorry to everybody that's listening, voting third party is fucking stupid.
Just stay home.
Yeah.
Don't even burn the calories. No, go. I mean, actually participate in the actual vote. But if legitimately voting third party is not helping us.
Yeah, until we get something like ranked choice voting, that's about going to be the only other way that third party has a chance. Till we change our electoral college, I would, me personally, I think that our electoral college should be more geared towards, let's say, one electorate is assigned to one county. So however that county goes, it should go to that vote. So like Texas has 40 electoral college votes, but 38 counties. So 2 of the biggest counties would get 2 extra electoral college votes, but they're never going to do that.
Luthien, will you change Colin now to MAGA Colin now, please?
Okay. I apologize, guys. I'm sorry.
No, you're
No,
fine.
you're
It's just you don't have. We're in the United States. We're in the thick of it. We're in the weeds. We know how this works, and we've seen how it goes down. So we know what's actually necessary to change it. It's not as simple as doing generalities or comparisons to another country when every country operates their voting process a little bit differently. We don't do it based off a majority vote. We do it based off of plurality.
Well, Canada, you still do have like the bigger parties are like, the Liberal Party and the Conservative Party, right? In Canada, you have
right, but your parliament, or what's equivalent to your parliament, I can't remember if that's exactly what it's called.
Parliament.
You still have independent parties in there. Our independent voters are Bernie Sanders, who's just an independent, classified as that because he's a democratic socialist. And then is Sinema from Arizona? Is she still in? Yeah. Kirsten Sinema used to be a Democrat. And so now she's just a little bit further right, but doesn't feel like she's right. So she's just existing as an independent.
Does your prime minister have veto power in Canada?
Oh,
Sinema is gone. Okay, thanks, Rob.
So
who's the
I want to say, like, look, it's not just that, right? Like, it's also like imperialism of the United States. Like, even with liberals or even with like Democrats or Republicans, like United States after World War II has done horrible things to the countries global south, countries in global south.
What's the question then?
It is. So my point is, look.
No question. What's the question here? Because I feel like we're getting back to monologuing again.
I mean, I'm making a point, and then I guess I shall ask the question, right? I mean,
but no. So that's very revealing about the point you were making. You weren't planning on a question. You are monologuing, man. Rajat, we're gonna move on. Yeah, we agree. The U.S. is imperialist trash. All right.
But yes, and look, the issue is whatever you do, like you vote Democrat or like Republican, United States is still ultimately controlled by the Capitol.
Yep.
That's we know.
The thing, right? That's the issue.
Yeah.
Yep. So we can continue the progress toward tearing down that system, which, as we pointed out earlier, we are closer to than we were before. Very much appreciate your call, Rajat, but it's getting too monologue-y. It's too preachy. And I'm the only one who sanctimoniously preaches on this channel. I don't even have another call to go to. I just was bored I don't like when people who I mostly agree with call in and just tell me stuff I already know. You know?
Or in this case, he was just trying to like give us advice on our elections and that didn't understand the electoral college system to start with. Like,
yeah,
that was the part that got me. The other independent senator is Angus King, who's just a fucking piece of shit. Anyways, he's part of the people that one of the 8 that decided to end the shutdown.
MAGA, we've got lines for you. We've shut out the disgusting leftists. No more leftists and liberals. Forget them. Forget that. We think they're gross. MAGA, we want you to call and explain to us why MAGA is the way. That phone number's right there at 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. Are we going out on TikTok as well again tonight?
Yeah, we are.
TikTok. There's that phone number, 336-543-2101. One of your biggest fans was definitely in chat earlier talking nothing but compliments. For some reason, they won't call in, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you to the 3% of you who said that you are going to go ahead and ask somebody MAGA in your life to call in. I want to talk to all your MAGA dads. Have all your MAGA dads call. It was a high number, by the way. Let me go back and look at that poll. 29% of the 506 people who voted said they have a MAGA dad.
Yeah, I was one of them.
That's, yep. I got a MAGA dad.
Even if I gave him the number, he'd be like,
MAGA?
who the fuck am I calling? I'm not calling them.
I got a MAGA. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, tell the people what they're calling. We're not saying trick them. Hey, call this number real quick.
When I have people that call and they're like, my friend gave me this number, I'm like, I'm sure they did. And then I will just like hang up on them. I'm like, I don't care. If you don't know what you're calling, I'm not having this conversation.
We'd love to it. I want to call him, but I don't want to make Ari cry. I don't think you could. So call in. I don't think you could do it. So call in. Somebody with, I think, a picture of Joe Biden as their profile.
Sure.
Call
Give
in.
it a shot then.
In the meantime, for those of you who are here as we wait for our next MAGA caller, you can incentivize them to call in by sending a super chat. We'll start reading off some super chats here. And basically, here's how it goes, MAGA. While you don't call in, we disgusting leftists will make money. So if you want to stop the flow of income, all you have to do is call in. If you want to stop, you can participate in stopping leftism. But we do need those of you who are in chat. One, just because we don't do like as many of the live chat stuff. So this channel, it's got its brother channel there that it's competing with. We got to know that that this is the place.
Gio wanted to make sure that the guy that has Joe Biden's picture or something that says "Don't want to make Ari cry."
Yeah.
Gio wanted him to know that I can smell your fragile masculinity.
Yeah, it's bad smelling.
Yeah, it's not great.
Go ahead and call in. Democratic moderates like Jimmy calling themselves leftists because they don't want to be associated with the party is crazy. I'm not a Democratic moderate. When are you going to call in?
I'm actually
socialists. It's just a dumb thing to say. Like, you don't know.
I'm more surprised they would call you that. Like, I would think because of how, at least on my show, I stay more in the middle. Like, they could accuse me of being that, but
bro, I'm literally like, arm the proletariat, bitches. When are you calling in? Give it a call. Give us a call. Live chat. It's always like, it's people who are brave in chat, but they aren't brave in
they never
brave
are.
enough to call in. Infidel had said, I don't even take chat seriously. That must have been earlier when I was like, why are you reading chat if I'm not? I don't take them seriously. That it did seem like chat was getting to Jeff a little bit. 336-543-2101. Send a super chat now if you want to get it read out with a question. I'd love actually a theme I've been asking people questions on. If you'd like to send a super chat right now in response to one of my questions, what do you have a moment in your life that you remember as being the like, oh my God, America is not the good guy? That we are like, what was that moment for you? Like, it can either just be one where it was a big time one. For me, that was like actually learning about the lead up to 9/11 happening and going like, oh, we did 9/11. Like in a lot of ways, we kind of did 9/11. Like, sure, not like the George W. Bush did 9/11 shit.
Oh, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Not the
That's
truther
not even
shit.
hard.
Yeah. Like, we did the 9/11. We're pretty responsible. We're pretty culpable in that whole thing. That one was a big moment for me. Proposition 8 was a big moment for me. Oh my God, Ashley, I want your husband so bad in the not the way that came out wrong. But Ashley says, hi, Jimmy. I'd offer up my husband, but he refuses even with me to debate his opinions. LOL. God, Ashley is trying to figure out navigating her marriage with a MAGA guy. They've been together a long time. He's MAGA. And Ashley, God, I'd take a piece. I'd take him down. Again, not like that. Okay. Misha had asked, is Jimmy the guy with the distinguished forehead sloop? One time I mentioned that it's something I'm self-conscious about, and people are going to always bring it up. I have a rather slopey forehead. It goes back. No, yours is like a table. Mine like.
Hey, I get it when I'm looking at that.
If I put a marble here, it would fall off with tremendous speed. That's how it is. That's how it is.
I am pretty good at balancing when I don't have headphones on. I don't think, but my problem is it likes to fall off when I try to balance because my hair is so smooth.
Hell yeah. It's there though. It's there. For me, it's the forehead. I don't even have that much Neanderthal DNA. Anyway, Savick Hazard says Jimmy has a higher approval rating than Donald Trump. That's not hard. Misha said that Jimothy has a real Charlie Day. You know, she's saying that I remind her of Charlie Day. Me? Charlie? Meg says, well, now I'm mad at you, Jeff. I read into the exact TCGA details and learned how much the government screwed us citizens. Don't read this, Jeff.
Oh my gosh.
We really got it. Piriform says some socialist currency for your socialist agenda. Ashley says, hi, Jimmy. Oh, we just read that one. Misty Nipples. Misty Nipples. It says, hi, Jimmy, you've always been my favorite. Now go fuck yourself. You've always been mine too. Is that true though, Misty? It's okay. Because I know you do like me. And that you like my debates and stuff. But I have always gotten the impression you like Forrest just a little more. Just a little more. But, a little more. I get it. I like Forrest more than I like myself. So, it's not that big of a deal. But I get it. Carabine says, hi, Jimmy and Ari. I wanted to give money to socialists. Well, now you've done it. You have contributed to the proletariat rising. I had a guy who, in the chat, I'm saying proletariat more just because he pointed out, can you imagine being this old? Don't you usually grow out of this? A grown man saying proletariat? Well, now I'm going to say it more and louder and with a half mast is all I'm going to put that to the chat. I'm going to say it half mast. Speaking of, I have to pee. So listen, MAGA, 336-543-2101. Ari, why don't you solicit some calls and read some supers if you see them coming in. Y'all can send some secret supers behind my back. And don't forget, super chats with a moment in history that was a big, shelf-breaking moment where you're like, oh shit, is America the bad guys?
Oh yeah, that is a good point for you guys to bring up too. But we'll do this real quick, okay? Hi, I'm Ari. My channel is Mermaid Ari0. For those watching me on TikTok, I know you guys aren't tapping the screen and I haven't had a chance to actually admonish you. Y'all should have been on TikTok. Y'all should have been at 100,000 likes 27 minutes ago. I need you to guys be booping the screen. We should already be at 150,000 likes. Hello. Also hit the follow button if you're new. For everybody over on the tubes, Mermaid Ari0 is the handle if you guys want to go and hit that subscribe button. I do comment randomly in the chat from my phone. Ashley just said, I just asked my hubby. He downright said no in his caveman grumpy tone. Oh my gosh. When did I realize that the United States was the bad guy? Let's see. 9/11 happened when I was in the 4th grade. Okay. I remember exactly where I was that day because I was at school. I remember the teachers putting it on and then calling our parents to come pick us up. And, I want to say it was probably when I was 7 years old that I was like, this sucks. Or not 7th grade. Probably 7th grade when I was like, the United States is not the good guy. Right? 3 years in, we're finding out why we really went over to Iraq. Why we really sent our troops over there. Yeah. And then the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, the United States is the bad guy. Sincerely. We're not the good guy. Let's just remind everybody that back in the 1950s, for as much as y'all hate Iran right now, they used to be a democratic state. And then we ousted their leader and allowed somebody else to take over, who then fucked them up, and they now became the fascist state that they're now. So we are the reason why Iran is the way that they are. Literally. Every time the United States tries to do a regime change, help perform a coup, that's it. We fuck it up. Yeah, somebody said they figured it out in the 2nd grade. That's impressive. I was always like involved in politics because I still remember how upset my mom was when Al Gore lost the presidential election. And then now she's MAGA, whatever.
Ew.
Kitty.
This is a little boy. I believe we've come to the conclusion after some I was only repeating the propaganda I was told that little boy is not part Bengal and just a pure tabby.
Just a tabby.
Just a tab. He's a good boy. MAGA, call and explain to my cat why America is better for cats under Donald Trump.
Well, under Donald Trump, they're not eating the cats and dogs in Chicago, or not Chicago, Springfield,
They're eating
Illinois.
The dog, wasn't it Springfield?
Yeah, it was Springfield. I always want to say Chicago because, I mean, it's like the number one city that most people know. 2.7 million in the population.
Let's see. Space Barbarian says, I don't remember when I figured out the U.S. sucked. I watched Cosmos and read history as a child, so it was pretty clear early on. Blame my parents. Becker says, you could also just give like a big pivotal moment where you're like, Jesus Christ, it's worse than I realized. Becker says, I figured out we were the baddies in 2003 after the fake weapons of mass destruction. I turned 31 that year and became a Democrat. I grew steadily more progressive after that. Now I'm a socialist. Welcome, comrade. And none of the brave people have called in. Hey, MAGA, we want to talk to you. We'll hear you out. Here's the deal. We've been going more low key with you guys right now. We're giving you a little more grace because we understand right now it takes a little bit more. To be willing to call in as MAGA right now is a little bit more brave. Because you're worried we'll bring up the Epstein thing, and you know you guys have lost on that issue. Not like you haven't just lost, you've lost everything on that issue. You've lost economically, you've lost socially, morally. There isn't the thing that turns out that Epstein didn't touch. And Donald Trump very clearly obstructed the release of the Epstein files. In fact, Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently went on Tommy Loren this week and said, like, he told me, do not obstruct them or I think he was going to primary her. Some threat. Don't release them. You're not going to vote for that shit. Threatened her. So I get it. It's hard right now to call in. And honestly, like you can look, that is the point when it started getting harder to get MAGA calls. Because it's right now, MAGA are very downtrodden. They're very discouraged. And I get that, MAGA. You've lost a lot. You've lost your guy. You kind of now finally are starting to see that Donald Trump, the emperor, has no clothes. He's a bad guy. He's a bad president. He never was any good. So if you want to call in and just defend conservatism, if you want to call in and explain to us the correct way immigration should run in this country.
Oh, goodness.
We're giving more grace. Doesn't mean we're not going to argue, but we're going to give you a little bit more grace because it's hard to call in as MAGA right now. They've lost. I mean, they've lost.
They've had like bad week after bad week. Now we've rolled back the well-known scientific facts of greenhouse gases and how they contribute to our entire planet heating up. But they're like, look, guys, it can't be. Global warming's not real because it's getting super cold in the winter. Yes, because it must offset, you dum-dums.
Yeah. It's literally, by the way, it's like they're saying colder during the winter. Right. And what else about those winters? Are they wetter? Is there more precipitation? Would that suggest that means there is more energy in the system, putting more water into the clouds? Is it literally that the storms are worse because there's more energy? And remind me, energy, that's never like thermal, right? That's not that wouldn't suggest that actually overall this is the sign of a heating up planet, even though parts of global warming is snowstorms. But actually, if you look at the temperatures of them and why the storms are so radical, it actually still is higher. It's not like we're having like as a result of global warming, there is no offset of this. It's just that more places are having arid, totally dry, colder temperatures than ever. It's literally like even if there are some deserts like that, the offset is somewhere is getting the craziest fucking blizzards ever. We just had another ice storm in Texas. These used to never happen. And now they happen every year because there's more moisture following, because there's more energy in these systems.
We almost got snow again in Florida.
That's crazy.
After they just got it last year over Martin Luther King's birthday weekend, it almost happened again the same exact weekend.
We moved out of Louisiana right before Katrina, and literally the day we left, was it the day we left Louisiana for Wyoming, or was it the day we left Florida for Louisiana? I think it was the day we left Louisiana for Wyoming. They had in Slidell their first snow in forever. And then Katrina happened, and then anyway. Liz Chris says, "Go fuck yourself, Jimmy." Is my favorite too. Figuring out we are the bad guys was more of a snowball than a single event. Liz Chris, I appreciate you.
I mean, the snowball effect is real when it comes to figuring that out.
It's hard too, because there's a limit to it where you're like, you try to limit it where you're like, okay, how bad we're seeming right now. There's got to be more information that we're going to find out. Like, okay, but also on top of that, before Bush Sr. did his shit, like what was the shit that led to Bush Sr. doing it? And then and so you'll be like, okay, eventually I'm going to learn. And then it's like, no, it keeps getting even worse. Stop getting worse.
It keeps getting worse. And trust me, a lot of people that served during or served either before or during the Iraq and Afghanistan wars are very happy that Dick Cheney died.
Can I just say that I am very jealous of your independent eyebrows? I can't really move them independently.
I never remember that that's a thing until somebody brings it up. I'm like, oh yeah, that is a.
I have to be like, I can't. This is if I'm doing like a look, but it's more of a leaning the face toward than it is actually separating my eyebrows.
You just make it look like it.
Yeah, I had a friend who couldn't wink, so that's how she would do it. When she'd need to wink at somebody, she'd turn her whole head and blink. It worked.
That's funny. Nobody knows. It's just
MAGA, we want to hear from you. 336-543-2101. If we're just going to make money off of super chats and you guys don't call, that's fine. Or you can slop the flow, the flow of cash. We'll take the cash, but we'd like to hear from you, hear you out. I'll probably scroll some news here in a second too.
Neely, what does waggle one eyebrow mean?
Feel free to send questions by super chat as well. Waggle one eyebrow? Like wiggle. That's impressive though. I can't do that.
I don't know.
It's very Stephen Colbert. You got a Colbert-esque situation going on over there. Okay, let's see. Apparently David Archuleta did Mormon Stories and talks about how the Quorum of the 12. I'm going to have to listen to that one. Tried to court him after he became famous. Okay. Micah says, I think I knew when I read about the discovery of America, but became fully realized when I got out of my sheltered upbringing. Yeah. And at first you'll hear about that discovery and then you'll go through, at least I did, I was like, but like, technically a lot of the disease wasn't intentional, and sure, like that was bad, but like isn't that where most lands come from, as though that somehow makes you not continuing to participate in a system that continue to benefit from white supremacy, essentially. Kara says, I would love to get my dad to call in, but I'm afraid of having to move back in with my brother, from Caracal. So you have to all right, Luthien, put on the to-do list. We got to create some kind of official business card people can print out and leave places to be found, where he won't even know where it came from. He'll just know someone said, but maybe don't put your name on your soups for a while after you do that, just in case, if you don't want him to make the connection. MAGA, you're there. Your number's there, 336-543-2101. Call in and explain it to us. Tell us where we're going wrong.
Tell me why he's actually good. If you can
defend Trump post the Epstein files, if you think you can defend how Trump has handled the Epstein files, call in and tell us, why are the two of you continuing to use the wrong? Oh, okay, that's the wrong group chat. Use the other one. I can't be moving between them. But
it's not me. I didn't do it.
Yeah. I just love you so much, though. But I want to only do one chat. I hate moving.
How did I do that with the space?
Techno Wolf says, was homeschooled in the South. Dad used to take us to a plantation house and Daughters of the Confederacy events. Actually learning about the Civil War and civil rights movement started it for me. I really thought, this just reminds me of the like Techno, I think Jeff would ask, like, are you secretly MAGA? That question really threw me at the beginning. Whereas like, this has to be a troll, right? Am I secretly MAGA because I changed my mind? Maybe it's just like those people who are so Christian that they're like, anybody raised with Christianity, it'd be impossible for you to not realize it's true. I feel like there are probably Mormons who think that really inside I know it's true, but I just want to sin, even though Mormonism doesn't. You don't have to not sin to be a Mormon. Are you fucking crazy? Anyway. Space Barbarian says, what was that Nirvana song? Smells like scared MAGA spirit. A little bit right now. A little bit. It seems like they are not feeling like being very active lately. Donald Trump is doing a lot of bad. The tariffs are blowing up in his face. He's trying to federalize the elections. That's literally like in the Constitution that they can't do that. And so right now it's rough. Our MAGA brethren are having a hard time right now because they really want to defend their team and they don't realize they have the option to change teams. MAGA, that's what I want to know. Call in and tell us why you would never be a leftist.
I know
that's
that.
Like a great question for future things too. Let's put that up.
That's a good one.
Put that up in the gray thing. Why would you never be a leftist? And call us with that. I would actually like to hear, even if you aren't there, you don't want to defend the right. You don't want to defend MAGA, but you want to say that leftism is not an option. I want to know why.
Oh my gosh, this is great. So apparently, he's not my representative, but I don't know what district he is. So Randy Fine, he's a representative in Florida.
I know about Randy Fine, the fraudster.
Oh,
the voter fraud guy.
Oh gosh. Did you know about his posts on, I would assume, Facebook or X?
Yeah.
Said he would choose dogs over Muslims, and apparently they want to censure him. Good.
But Randy Fine is the guy, right, who has been caught on camera multiple times hitting other members' voting buttons.
Vote
like races to vote to hit the buttons. And that's technically voter fraud. You're not allowed to vote on somebody else's behalf in this country. It's always the Republicans. The voter fraud is always them. But they always accuse.
Oh, I see where so I see it on Facebook, Reddit, Threads. Nothing that's...
Yes, I paid the phone bill. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh, yeah, that's how we definitely know he's not mine.
I will say, I don't know how well the algorithm is working for our non-subscribers right now, because I understand YouTube broke today and was still having issues. So there could be a little bit of that. We definitely have a smaller audience than we usually have even when we had that MAGA caller earlier. So it's definitely affected something. I mean, we can find out how many people in the live chat right now are MAGA. How's your live chat looking over there right now?
Oh, TikTok's been fucking all sorts of janky and
ever since the Republicans took it over.
Yep.
To the 4% of you who said you're going to ask your MAGAs to call in, I really hope you were telling the truth there, because that's 20 people? I'll do 20 of them.
So he is District 6 of Florida. Where is District 6?
I think Polly might be going through it.
Yeah. I know yesterday I got a bunch of trolls.
Oh. Is he co-streaming?
No.
Oh, I thought he was streaming right now. I was going to be like...
No, he's streaming right now. He doesn't.
Competition. No, I'm just teasing. We are on so much that it's impossible to not stream at the same time as other people. 326-543-2101. Call in right now.
So District 6 of Florida is basically, we'll just say Disneyland.
Fucking Randy Fine.
Oh, no, that's in Melbourne. My bad. That's above there.
I hope Randy Fine is one day faced
Daytona Beach
with living the type of life he is causing others to live. That's how I'll just put it. I hope they get everything they want, but where it applies to them. The way they want illegals to be treated, I hope that's how they end up treated.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Tube won't even let you send a super chat. Well, that fucking sucks because that's how we survive. There is this crazy, every host who works at the line, not kidding, 100% of them like to eat food. And so we have to pay them so they can go get food. Fucking assholes.
I know. Who would have thunk? We like to eat food.
We like to eat apples.
I actually prefer not to eat, but there's this thing called requirements for my body to survive.
I love eating, but I can't eat almost anything, despite the fact that it looks like I've eaten too much often. It's enough of not that good of stuff or all the same stuff. I currently have sirloin. I call them sirloin nuggets in the, it's not what it sounds like. It's not a chicken nugget. It's just I cooked multiple, I buy them in bulk so they're cheap. Mm-hmm. And then I cook them all at the same time. And then I just cut them into bite-sized chunks. Because that's basically one of the 6 foods I can eat. That and chicken, and I do it the same way. Chicken I actually more often shred, pressure cook, and just mash shred them. That's kind of what we do. MAGA, we're ready to talk to you. 336-543-2101. 336-543-2101. It says 3% of you are here right now, unless some of you misinterpreted the question, and you're answering whether you believe MAGA is here. And that's not the correct one. MAGA, supposedly 3% of the audience right now. We'd love to talk to you. 336-543-2101. Let's catch up on these soups. Shadow says
the sirloin nuggets sound very caveman of you.
Oh, I mean, people here have seen before this. I've also just I like cold steak very much. I might like it more than hot, and I like it medium rare. And so I'll just put it on a fork and just munch it off of it. And it does look very, it seems like the kind of thing Andrew Tate would say is the only right way to eat it. So I'm not bragging about it because it seems like I would start a whole podcast about the key to a long, healthy life looking like this. That would be crazy for me to do. But the key is cold, raw steak. Anyway, Shadow says, I learned when I found out half the country was willing to go to war to keep humans as property, and they never really changed. Can't remember the age. Yeah, that was another big moment for me, is like going like, man, I can't believe we did slavery, to like, wow, we really wanted to do slavery, to then like, oh shit, there are things right now in America that don't look like it's that much better than slavery, to like, oh, we still have slavery? Cool.
Yeah, they don't pay attention. Real quick, somebody wants to know, do you remember Mr. Thomas? You were introduced to them with Jovan.
No.
No? Okay.
Why would I?
I don't know. They just wanted to, they're like, if he ask if he remembers. I'm like, okay, I will.
Is Thomas asking, or is somebody asking
Mr.
about a
Thomas.
call?
No, Mr. Thomas is asking.
I don't remember anybody ever. When people call in repetitiously, eventually they get in my memory. But even then, like, there are people who used to call every show last year whose names I've forgotten. And unless they're like, somebody brings them up, I'm like, oh yeah, there was this little, like, there was a kid who used to call in a lot to try and do, and we've since pretty much said no, we're only going to talk to people over 18, but he wanted to try Jordan Peterson philosophy bro shit all the time. Can't remember his name.
That's annoying.
But he called a lot, and eventually I banned him because I was just like, this is so fucking dumb. Anyway, Shadow, thank you. Brent says, selective amnesia outrage primer brought to you by MAGA. Day 1, ISIS under attack from leftist, woke, violent, extremist terrorists. Day 2, let's not bicker and argue about who killed who. You gotta love that shit too, where it's literally like, what if we reacted to violence toward ICE the way Republicans react towards school shootings? Well, let's not politicize it. Let's not politicize the issue. Let's not politicize it, guys. I say we do politicize both, but in both cases, it would be in ways the right wouldn't like. Demonzel says, reading How to Hide an Empire was my tipping point, sadly far too late in life. Haven't read that one. I've heard of it, though, I believe. President Starscream says, how I learned that we are the bad guys, 3 letters, CIA. So are you saying the CIA
Seriously?
did an op to make sure you found out and you've been radicalized and now you're going to, I don't know what I'm saying anyway.
Well, I did mention the fact that because of the CIA, that's why Iran is no longer democratic.
Why? Who is no longer democratic?
Iran.
Oh, sorry. I was only half listening.
No, it's okay.
I was reading at the same time. And also, I don't expect to hear non-white sounds out of white mouths. But you were more accurate. I always forget. I always know that saying Afghanistan is not correct. And then I'll try to say it correct. And I'm like, I definitely still said it wrong. Afghanistan? No, that ain't it. Afghanistan.
Now I want to look that up. No, I just knew how Iran was said. And
I think it's just Stan. It's not Stan. I think it's Afghanistan.
Oh, that makes sense instead of the hard A there.
And Iraq, it's not Iraq.
Yeah, it's Iraq.
People technically it'd be like Iraq, but Iraq is fine.
One of the weirdest experience I have, like talking to people, is they get so upset over me rolling my R's.
Yeah.
It's just like,
don't do that shit in Texas. We have literally like cities where we are mispronouncing on purpose. They are Spanish words that we purposely mispronounce as erasure of the people that it comes from. Amarillo is the name of a city in Texas.
Amarillo.
Right. The color yellow. But it is.
Yeah, but they say Amarillo.
Will correct you. If you say Amarillo, they will correct you and say, in Texas, we pronounce it Amarillo. There's other ones like that around here. I just can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's other ones around here that are like that.
There's so many. So apparently it's Afghanistan.
Afghanistan? Oh, was that right the first time? Afghanistan.
Nustan. Yeah.
It sounded Afghanistan.
I wonder, I don't know if you can, you wouldn't be able to hear it if I play it. I can't even hear it. Oh, because it's going through the other thing. Never mind.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
I love those fake pronunciations. I feel bad for anybody who ever like found it, but there's this YouTube channel that's fake pronunciations of words, and it makes me laugh so bad. The funniest one was clitoris. It like puts the word up on the screen and it goes, a kilt tortanorus. A kilt tortanorus. And that one just made me die laughing. But it looks exactly like a pronunciation channel.
I'm just gonna say this. Fernando in my live chat on TikTok, call the number on the screen.
Right. It's so easy.
We're even going to pin your comment.
Fernando.
Now you're called out in the live chat. Call the number on the screen. It's not hard. He said sassy men and baby mamas hate Trump. Prove me wrong.
Word.
Call in.
I hope that's true though. But the question would be, is their hate justified? Demonzel says, reading how to hide. Oh, we did that one. Let me quick get through these and then we'll start picking up the calls that are coming in. Future Gravity says, it really hit me with Prism and the goat spying on its citizens. It broke me of my delusion over the Dems and led me to socialism. Baka Baka says, money for socialists because MAGA won't call and Jimmy and Ari and show them the error of their ways. God's a Sinner says, fuck it. I set an alarm going to get up Thursday when I'm off and watch the show on the living room TV. Love y'all and chat from Caracal. All right, Caracal, you sleep tight, pretty please. And See Beyond You says my super chat works. Well, that we are relieved does. All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas is calling in. I definitely don't remember anyone calling in with a Mr. But anyway, Mr. Thomas, pronouns are he, him. Mr. Thomas, how old are you?
I am older than your daddy. But I came because Ari wanted me to come up here because she and I have had many debates before. And I've debunked her every time. She probably is not going to tell you that, though. But as a biological Christian, I could never be a leftist because it goes against Christian values, goes against, God. And the liberals, they just want everybody to have pronouns and adjectives.
So what is Mr. Thomas, there's a number of people who will defend that actually in his way that he describes taking care of the poor, that is all people's problems, taking care of foreigners. You've said it goes against Christian values, but there's a lot of socialists who say, I'm a socialist because Jesus Christ has the same values as me. I want to take care of the poor. I think that being rich is bad, that it is hard to get into heaven if you are rich. I want to be humble. I want to be collective. I want to be good to I want to be good to other people because Jesus wants me to be good to them. So you say you could never be a leftist because it's against Christian values. I don't know if that's true, but also you don't have to be a Christian either. So we could go either direction. Do you want to respond to the assertion that many people have that Jesus was a socialist?
Well, see, the liberals say that he was socialist to make themselves feel
No,
better.
not
but
liberals.
what he actually
Liberals
was,
aren't. Mr. Thomas, liberals aren't socialists. Liberals are capitalists. We're not liberals.
Yeah. Liberals are on the
capitalists.
left. Or they're on the-
Socialists
they're
are
on the right.
leftists. Right. Liberals
are
are moderates
right.
at best. So let's stick to socialism. Leftism is not, liberalism isn't leftist. Liberalism is centrist at best and more often right wing. So let's stick to leftism, which would be socialism. If you could stick with that and respond to Jesus's values reflect socialism.
well, Jesus actually said, give a man a fish, feed him a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read that part?
That wouldn't be that would not be anti-socialist. I mean, socialism literally has in communism, you have from each according to their ability to each according to their need. So you would teach everybody to fish, and then you would share the fish from the people who need it and couldn't.
Okay, so then community.
By the way,
fish,
just so
where
you
does it
know,
end?
Jesus, real quick, just so you know, Jesus never actually said that, but that proverb would not be, but that's nowhere in the Bible. Jesus never said the teach a man to fish thing. That's that is a modern, that's like a 19th century proverb. That's not even from 2,000 years ago.
No.
Yeah.
He definitely said it first. He was
No.
the guy from the.
Mr. Thomas, I grew up with the Bible. I know it pretty well. I'm telling you, Jesus never said that. If you'd like to pull out your Bible and take me to the verse, I will pull it up and I will concede that you were wrong. But it's literally a 19th century Chinese proverb.
Okay, wait. Look up Regulations. 19:5.
19:5. Revelations, right?
I don't know what word you're saying. Regulations.
I'm saying revelations, right?
That don't sound right.
Revelation, because it sounds like you're saying regulations, which isn't a book in the Bible, but Revelations at the end of the Bible, 19:5 reads, and a voice came out of the throne saying, praise our God, all ye his servants, and ye that fear him, both small and great. That is, does not have the teach a man a fish thing at all.
Wait, you have to read between the lines.
No.
Because
Okay,
it's
you're
a metaphor.
dude, you are
Lines.
joking. At nowhere does this even
This
suggest.
is Jovan's.
It's
This
Javon?
is Jovan's baby mama.
Oh my God.
Remember we were on the phone the other day and he introduced me to you and I called you Johnny Snow because I was so arch-
I was like, there ain't no way. Was that a voice changer or was that
No, I do voice acting.
you're just doing old? I see. Ari, did you know?
Yeah, can you switch between
I
them?
actually
He
managed
told
to
me to
not
do this.
break it apart.
Oh my God. I was about to bore my own eyes out. Regulations 19:5 was fucking crazy.
Y'all have no idea how much like holding it together for 4 minutes is impressive for me.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, Ari.
That
I
was
can't
for
even
letting
do
me
my
do
own
that.
fake MAGA. I can't even do my own fake MAGA for like 30 seconds without dying of laughter.
Yeah.
Oh
All
my
right. Well,
goodness.
thank
But
you,
I love
Mr.
everything you
Thomas.
do, Johnny.
That's very kind
Jimmy.
of you.
Oh my God, I did it
Johnny.
again.
Hey, go, Johnny Snow. Go, go.
See, it's the nervousness. I'm starstruck.
Go, Johnny Snow.
Appreciate
Go, go.
you.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
I was about to bore my own eyes out. All right. We probably are only doing this one last call, unless MAGA, if you want in, we'll give you another minute or so to call in. Otherwise, this next call will be our last one. And Well, you'll all see. But 336-543-2101, MAGA. If you're an actual MAGA person who
Please
actually
call.
wants to answer the prompt, we would love to answer that question for you. We'll talk to you. First, I have to talk to Cortez. Cortez from New Jersey, you have a point that you want to make right now, right?
Yes.
And what is that point?
Is that
Just kidding. I don't care. I don't believe in taking Cortez. And I have no intention of ever taking Cortez again. The man calls in drunk, has lied about having it being a speech impediment. It isn't, because he calls in times at not drunk. He says the stupidest shit. He has co-host syndrome. The man just wants to get on air and talk to the audience we gather. Cortez is a lost cause, and there is no point into ever talking to Cortez. However, we have a couple of calls who I believe will be, I hope, will actually be good faith callers. We want to debate. We've got one call screening right now. But yeah, fuck Cortez. Ban or Cortez. Cortez has nothing to offer. Calls every day, shows that there's no development, has been corrected, and pretends to internalize things like, oh, women don't like it when you call them females, and maybe I just shouldn't do that here on this show, and then next show goes straight back to calling them females. We already wasted scientists on him. This is the actual text I sent to Forrest the other night. Forrest and Erica were doing a show, and Cortez called in, and I wrote, and keep in mind, he always says the thing about Cortez likes to call women females. That's an important context. Cortez is either drunk or disabled. At a certain point, the fact that people keep taking him makes us look a little dumb. Highly suggest as soon as there's another call, you guys move on. I've already suggested to several other hosts that they no longer take him. Forrest said for sure. And then they kept taking him for a while. So I wrote, I'm now begging you to move on, or at least ask him a science question. And he wrote, fucking Erica keeps making good points. So I wrote, fucking female. And then I both put, I can't help to think about the optics of getting two scientists on air to listen to an incel bitch about dating. Thank God we brought them yesterday. Wait, we were on that yesterday. Oh, I don't know what that's in response to. So it's also ironic. He's trying to tell you guys how hopeless dating is when you're both married. He only has a leg to stand on. Wait, fuck. It was late. I did it like okay, so what I was supposed to say was he only even has a leg to stand on if he'd be willing to fart in front of his wife, because Forrest very famously will not fart in front of his wife. And so I don't know what happened with our Pennsylvania caller there, but we are going to very shortly here probably wrap it up if we have no debate calls. 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. We would love to talk to MAGA. Otherwise, we are going to wrap it up. I'll be wrapping it up for the first time in my life. Condom joke. Okay. And not true, for the record. Not true.
Well, it looks like the call you're talking about is they had a troll radar.
Luthien, what happened with the troll call? What happened with Chris in Pennsylvania?
Apparently, it's Mikey2657
They were
in TikTok.
just trolling.
Oh,
They started trying to say that Donald Trump was framed and he was a secret informant and was working against Epstein. And then Epstein started blackmailing him.
How did he reveal he was a troll?
He just started laughing a lot. He couldn't keep it together.
And so now he's trying to call back in, continuing to laugh.
Yeah, that's why he's probably requesting on my TikTok account.
Maybe he's just nervous. Laughter is nerve-wracking. Hey, Chris in Pennsylvania, we're going to give you a shot like you're serious. We've got a little troll radar, but I just want to know. Hang on. Yeah. No, I hear you, Chris. So what point did you want to make?
I just want to clarify.
Just kidding. I don't care. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been Calling It Now. Y'all. Get your dads to call. Get your dads to call, and I will start working on the business card thing for we'll do some varieties of business cards. If somebody wants to message me, contact@qnaline.com if you think you have a good idea for it, or if you want to just put like the caller cards in the subject line, if you want a link to wherever we put those graphics because you want to go, it'd be printing on your own. You'd be going to FedEx or whatever and printing on your own, but we're going to create these things that people can use. I might also do like a little flyer where it's like clear where to put tear off tabs. You know what I mean? Like cool. Tear the tabs. Yeah. Those could be good. That'd be a thing to work on. Let's see. Super chat from Lars says, I've been arguing with QAnon dude, and I was reminded of your quote, conspiracy theorists are terribly boring because for the sake of not believing anything, they'll believe literally everything. Dude, every now and then I say something a little profound and I'm like, oh my God, wow. I fucking forgot that I said that. Good job, me. Thank you. Lars, I should put that on a t-shirt. But I won't. I'll forget again that I even said it. Let's see. Kayla says, real. Who do you call if you shit your pants if you can't even fart in front of your wife?
Oh,
Question
gosh,
for Forrest. Kayla, I dare you to actually call or text that. Put that in a super chat for Forrest. I dare you. That'll be great. Make him read it, answer it.
Is that something that he has a fear of or something?
He fully defended it on the New Year's show. Him and I guess Matt does this shit too. They just won't fart in front of their partners. But the thing with Forrest is I farted for the first time in front of my partner within 17 minutes of knowing her. Whereas Forrest waited it's been 17 years he's been with his wife. And I just don't, I couldn't go that. I mean, granted, I have a tummy thing, so it's kind of like, but I feel like it's so enabling to everybody to just say like, hey, I gotta fart. So then now you feel like you can fart. Like imagine how my sweet, wonderful, gorgeous, amazing partner would feel. She's got lactose intolerance, guys. And look, a lot of you boys won't know this, but girls' tummies get a little fucked up during their period too. And if she had to be self-conscious about the ways, like making sure she's hiding that from me, it just wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be. So now we make it fun. It's fun. I try to actually make it fun. I try to do fun little poses or draw attention to it or pretend too much like I'm ignoring it, but I'm doing like a bad job at it. You know what I mean? Like just being like, did the dog just say something? Something like that. You gotta make it fun. Fart in front of your partners, guys.
I think it's funny when you're around a dog when it farts because it's always like, where did that sound come from?
I don't even understand what this means. God, is Jimmy so pathetic down to designing business cards, not even printing them? Lol. Go back to React videos. Hey, first of all, no, ew. The point was creating business cards other people can hand out. How am I going to print? Like, are people just going to come by the house and pick them up?
Sorry.
Because it's not business cards like, here's my business card, or could somebody else print them for me? It's, here are these shows. Here's a QR code. Here's how you can call in. It's the information to call in. So the point is that people who have people they want to call in have already a graphic made that hey, I heard about the show. You should just go ahead and do it. Anyway, people are fucking weird. I doubt that this is a person who actually even wants me to go back to React videos.
You know what? If I had those, I would just like randomly throw them out of my car window and fly.
I leave them at churches. We should make like a whole series of them for like under the wiper flyers. I keep thinking, should we simul-stream to Twitter that Nazi bar? It would probably work. It'd probably get us.
It could.
But do we want them?
Do you want the actual fascists?
The worst of the worst. When Twitter is sending their debaters, they're not sending their best. They're rapists, they're incels, and some of them I do not assume are good people. They're all bad. Well, I think that's it, right? That's the show. That's pretty much.
I just want to point out that the guy that said that he would call, but he's afraid. He's like, it was gonna make me cry. You showed your fragile masculinity by not calling.
True.
So.
Oh, dude, he's crying. That's what happened.
Oh,
he was crying.
I made him cry.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a sticker that says I am too clumsy to be around fragile masculinity. So sorry, night guy.
I was giving live chat. I was giving him a little bit of time after saying his dumb stuff about the business card, so he could be like, "Oh, I didn't understand. I was kind of a dick. My bad." But usually, when commenters are shown to be kind of dumb, they're like, "I'm gonna go and rewrite what actually happened here." Jimmy does an impression. What is this? Is this with your guys' bingo? Did bingo happen? Hey, what's left on the bingo card? Who's playing bingo right now? It was that's something the patrons do in the Discord, right? Are you guys dual stream to kick? Get the actual people who are calling in, like telling us the ways in which they'd like to torture us. Is there a thing happening in the Discord right now? Bingo with the patrons? Is that what's happening? Jamnik. Okay, yes. What's something that needs? Give me some things that some squares that need knocked off. Let's get some people some bingos. Balthazar says, why are there Pop-Tarts but not Mom-Tarts? Because of the patriarchy. That's hilarious. Sometimes the punishment must fit the rhyme. Adorable. But why aren't there Mom-Tarts? Ever think about that, though?
Oh, dad jokes.
Why aren't there Mom-Tarts?
Here's a good dad joke for you.
Yeah.
Why does Scandinavia have barcodes on their navy on their ships?
Why does Scandinavia have barcodes on their navy ships? I feel like this is going to be an IKEA joke.
They can scan the Navian.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I've told this too many times. I'm sorry. I love that one so much.
Jimmy uses an alternate term for a slur. How redacted is this bingo card, though? I mean, my God, I will see you next Tuesday. What is it if I use two of them? Because that was two.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we are on Tuesdays, which is a little funny.
Is see you next Tuesday, is that considered a slur? Because I just laugh at people that say it.
It's a fill-in for, you get it, right? Well, I'll say it because I just don't call women cunts, but see you next Tuesday means cunt.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
But
well, cunt is a slur.
Is it?
I look, here's what I do. I'm safe.
It is derogatory.
I don't call specifically women cunts. I feel that gets into slur territory. I also feel it's so ubiquitous in certain cultures that there's no escaping it. And so I enjoy emasculating men by calling them cunts. But I'm more likely to call a man a bitch.
They do get offended by that.
Yeah. I mean, traditionally, basically a slur is a swear word that is traditionally used toward like a group as a method of oppression. And cunt has definitely been used against women in that way. But not all slurs are created equal. I'm pretty actually against the concept that like if it's a slur, it's as bad as the N-word. I think it's actually important we maintain that the N-word is the worst one for white people.
I agree with that. Yeah. Don't use that.
Yeah.
People that call in and just slur out on it are also just weird. Like, get a life.
I know. They really are really into having been heard saying that. Okay, what were some of the others, Jamnik? A caller uses or cites AI for bingo. Well, I'm afraid I can't help you on that one because I'm not the caller. Jimmy sings a song. I've never sang a song in my life, but I'm not hooking up my guitar.
Apparently hosts disagree on something.
Is one of them? I don't know. I'm sure we do disagree on stuff. It's way more important to me that people not believe in God than it is to you, but we don't really fight about it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm kind of like, I will happily like debate the people that utilize their religion to spout hate or oppress people. Yeah. And I know I said that weird. Sorry, guys. I know it was spout. My bad. Okay.
Yeah.
But I understand that there are people that need religion in order to get by. And I don't say agree, it that way, but
obviously. I don't agree that anyone needs it. I think that everything that comes from religion is replaceable. Yeah. Yeah, I believe there's a lot of... I wouldn't say people need it in any way other than like heroin. Some people do need heroin, but after you get them off heroin, they're better off in their post-heroin state. So if you got to wean them off, wean it. But anyway, we're doing all kinds of weaning over here. Weaning is just such a funny word.
Hosts tell each other to go after accidental interruption.
Hosts tell each other to go. Oh, saying like, oh, no, you go. After you, you go. I feel like you got kind of like, this is going to be one of those shows where people are like, Jimmy just talked over Ari the whole time. It's like, Ari did not seem remotely interested in almost any of the subjects. Jeff, a little.
Well, Jeff, I've talked to him so many times because he was in my server, so I don't worry about him. And it's like I've had the universal healthcare talk with him. You can only have it so many times, and I mean, a server of 600 people had the universal healthcare conversation with him, and it just didn't stick. So it was like maybe coming from another perspective would help more than it seeming like 20 people are ganging up on one person, and this time it's just two against one.
I just want to debate his dad.
Yeah, for real. And then the Canadian guy was just like, I really just wanted to tell him to shut up because
I didn't care.
I wasn't in the mood. Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you're here, man, and everything. But like, for real, if you were in our position, you wouldn't have enjoyed that call either. Like, it's tedious to be like, let's get real pedantic over the tiniest of differences, but then let's not even focus on the difference. Let me just monologue about the things we don't even disagree on in the first place.
And if we were going to get like so specific on the teeny tiniest differences between individual thinking going into a party, we would never have any uniform party ever in existence.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Rubinator. It's been a long time. Good to see you, bud.
Oh, did he come in on YouTube?
Just a super chat. He's a guy I knew in the VR and the VR things I used to like to do.
Yeah, he actually tried to call in and say that.
Oh, is that call? Yeah, sorry. Yep. We don't take friendly calls. Look, man, you're a nice guy. I have no interest in talking to my friends on a call-in show. Like, ugh. All right, well, Jimmy Billy's co-host.
The co-hosts are an exception. Is that actually a square?
That's what I want to know. Is that really a square? Tiny fox bones? Is that really? Because I feel like I don't think I'd even agree with any time people would have assumed that that's what happened. Because a lot of people can't recognize that friendships behave a certain way. A lot of people were real mad at the very sarcastic way I told Forrest to shut the fuck up not too long ago. And I literally, it would have sounded literally like, you think blah, 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 shut the fuck up. Literally would have been like that. The people like, I can't believe this injustice. Is Forrest going to have a GoFundMe? Does he need recovery? Does he need legal help? Anyway.
Oh, somebody said you and Jovan bullies the co-host.
Well, Jovan, that's totally true. Jovan, I asked Jovan the other day, I was like, so at what era in your life did you stop being a bully? And he went, never. I was like, you just change it. You just change it.
I do know I need
almost a bully artist.
Lissa, if you were blocked, you wouldn't be able to talk in my chat, you dum-dum.
Come on, Alyssa. Now the phone line is off. We turned off. We closed the phone line because we gave you guys all the opportunity in the world to do it. So we're just wrapping up. Don't you talk to my Forrest like that. That's what someone just put in the chat.
We're just shooting the shit. But if you were blocked, and trust me, I don't have time to go through my block list because I don't care enough about the people that are blocked because they were blocked.
Yeah.
If you were blocked, you wouldn't be able to type in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm blocked after you comment.
So there.
Yeah. Now I'm tempted to actually, no, I don't want to block you because I still want you to.
It is.
This is a long-standing thing with this account is she has to admit that I cooked her on abortion.
It is hard not to troll in that way. Like when the people who call in, like Cortez calling in earlier.
Oh gosh.
Like if it's somebody who I already know your shtick.
Yeah.
That's why I could have just not taken the call, but I don't care. Moving on. Once again, I'm not going to like I'm not going to I'm sorry that your normal bingo people are. I look, would it be technically not dead air? Would it probably even be advantageous to take those calls because potentially they could go off on a topic where somebody else feels inspired to call and do it better? I totally hear that. I totally hear that even as a criticism. I'm just tired of them. I'm tired of like these super bad faith trolly guys calling in and I'm not, there's not, as I've said it now too many times to the point that the metaphor is losing its depth. If I'm a boxer, is it still a victory if it's against a 9-year-old girl? Well, it's a W on the board. W on the board. No. It makes her look good, though. Yeah, sure, I lost against him, but I'm a 9-year-old girl. Like, of course I did.
What more can I do? Yeah, that's true. There is that, like, people, I have literally had full troll call, like me trolling the caller because I'm like, you didn't come up here in good faith. I've had those full kind of like with Gwen, except that was just funny.
Yeah.
I started to go back and listen to that one before we hopped on because I was like,
oh,
this
the
is
last
great.
one with the, I'm an instrument specialist.
Yeah, that one. The
Are
Nazi.
you? Yeah. Gwen the Nazi. She said that it's okay to call her Nazi Gwen. All right, that's the show. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.